Hello, I am Lincoln. Or should I say, I'm you? That's not true. I'm me. I'm me, he says. What? Look, I am not you per se, but I am a part of you. Specifically the critical part. So you have bad opinions? You're me, they're not bad opinions. They're just critical. They point out what's wrong with everything that you think is good. So what is one of these critical opinions? One of them is that Celeste is a very flawed by design game. What are you talking about? Celeste is a great game. Celeste is actually one of my favorite games I've ever played. Well, not really. It's not really that high up there, but indie games, it is really good. Celeste isn't bad, it's clever. Its story opens up with Madeline, who wants to climb a mountain for no apparent reason, other than she's lost in life and she needs something to do just as she could. And upon climbing it, she travels through an ancient city. On her way to the city, she realizes that she has a power in which her hair glows blue and she can dash. Dashing is the main gimmick of this game. Now, she doesn't actually realize that she has the power. As a matter of fact, she has superpowers, and the only one who actually points it out is a flying strawberry that's optional. On her way through the city, she meets someone named Theo. Theo eventually becomes pretty important. Once she gets to the top of the city, she falls asleep. She has a dream that she walks up to a mirror in these ruins, and it unleashes an evil version of her that processes all of her negative thoughts. While she is never given a name throughout the game, everyone collectively refers to her as Madeline. Huh, that's what I should call you. Lincoln. Like Madeline, but for me, don't. No. Okay. Madeline chases Madeline around like the cosmic clones from Super Mario Galaxy. I feel like now's a good time to talk about the gameplay to this game. It has a very simplistic movement system, and rather than adding to it, which they barely do, they just teach you to use it in new ways, which I feel like is really smart rather than overwhelming the player with new mechanics for them to use. Madeline eventually wakes up, but it turns out that the fact that Madeline exists was not a dream, and other people see her interacting with Madeline, but they can't see Madeline. And the next level does a really good job at showing that, as they check into a hotel on Mount Celeste. The hotel owner seems to have conversations with himself, which shows us exactly what other people see when Madeline is talking to Madeline. The game does a really good job at stylistically showing how things are happening. Speaking of stylistic things, it has an incredible art style. It uses a mixture between hand-drawn animation with pixel art, and the world map is 3D. Some people think it's a little weird how it combines all these different forms of art, but I think it looked great in Four Swords Adventures, and I think it looks great here. Eventually, they make it to this mirror palace place, where Madeline and Theo's thoughts change the environment of the level. This level gives us a lot of backstory to Theo's character, and it's very fun. It also is the first non-boss fight enemy in the entire game, and this is like level 5, but combat isn't really the point of the game. Upon escaping the Mirror Palace, Madeline falls all the way down to a level before the game starts, and she goes to beat up Madeline. During this level, she receives the ability of the Feather, which allows her to transform to a spark of energy that can move around the air for a few seconds. This is one of the big problems a lot of people in the community have, and that's that you move in a full 360 direction movement system while you have the feather. But when you don't have the feather, you can only move in 8 directions, which, sure, that's fine for console players like me, but the majority of this game's player base is PC players that cannot control the thing in 360 degrees. So they have to swap to a controller to perfectly control the feather. And you know what? I will give them this. This is not good. But how would you really make this thing control this smoothly without 360 degree movement? It's just disappointing that it has to come at the cost of nerfing the PC players. This leads to the final boss of the game, which is my favorite part of the game. Just the entire moment while Madeline is fighting Madeline is just so great. It's very helped by the music. The music in this game is composed by Lena Raine, and if you don't know her music from Celeste, then you probably know her music from Attack the Killer Queen in Deltarune, and songs like Pig Step in Minecraft. She writes very good music for the games that she writes. It always seems to match the tone of the situation so well. After the boss fight, Madeline and Madeline fuse. Now you can dash twice, and your hair is now pink. And so, with all your mental health problems solved, you choose to climb the mountain again, just to say that you can. So you climb up through micro levels that kind of feel like the levels that you'd already gone through, until you make it to the final micro level, where you have to climb up the summit. The ending's kind of anticlimactic for all the stuff that you went through to get there, but really, what else are you gonna do once you reach the top? It's a really great moment. And there you have it. Celeste is, as a matter of fact, one of the best indie games ever made. You may think this was just a game, Lincoln, but trust me, one of these days I will return, and there will be suffering. But what does that mean? Oh, God, Lincoln, you're going insane.